Hey guys, Turbo Tuck here. I wanted to share with you guys some of my everyday carry items. So let's start out with the knives. So this is a Boker. So I work at a farm and ranch for my family, and I really need a strong knife that can take some use and abuse. And this is definitely it. It's an auto knife, so if I go out of town, I probably don't want to take it with me. I'm here in Kansas where it's legal to have switchblades and auto knives, but this is just what I carry when I'm working. So it's really thick, the thickness. So I'm not worried about breaking it off or anything like that. It is D2 steel, so it holds an edge really good. It's showing its wear. I've rubbed off a lot of the paint. I put it in the ultrasonic cleaner and a lot of the paint fell off then. But otherwise it's in perfect condition. It's bare to sharpen because of the D2 steel. But if you get an edge on there, it can stay for quite a while. On to the Benchmade Autocrat. I carry this like if I'm going out somewhere fancy, I go to eat with family, something like that. It's more sophisticated. I really don't want to abuse it out on the farm or working on cars. But I have seen torture tests. It does hold up pretty well from what I've seen. S30V steel. It'll hold an edge really well also. I got it at a pretty good discount at the state fair, and I was kind of wondering if it was real or not. I've seen a lot of counterfeits out there, but I broke the tip of it off. So I sent it into Benchmade and they sent it back, so I guess it's real. Now here's the Harbor Freight Icon knife. So it's D2 steel as well. I have noticed it does dull a little bit faster than the Boker, but it's also like a finer point. That could have something to do with it, I'm not really sure. I sharpen them both at the same angle, 20 degrees, but there's just not as much girth to this blade. You can see the difference here. Sometimes if I go out of state, I'll carry this one with me. What I don't like about it is the pocket clip. See, compared to the Boker, it sits a little bit higher in your pocket. I've had it fall out of my pocket. It just completely comes out, or the clip will go up past the edge of my pocket and then it'll fall in my pocket and I'll think that I lost it and find it later when I reach in for something else. Other than that, it's a pretty good knife. It's really smooth. Like, there's no spring or anything in there. It's all the ceramic bearing. It just takes a little flick. For 40 bucks, it's a pretty decent knife. So I've been seeing recently a lot of things about this Ozark trail knife. So I'm gonna give it a try. I've been wanting to get a better quality knife for when I go out of town that's not an auto knife or switchblade. But I'm kind of hesitant to spend a lot of money on another Benchmade since I already have two really nice knives. So I kind of got this one to see if I would like it. It's got the same lock as the Benchmade. Typically, you know, I want something that you can just flick open. Doesn't take a lot of effort. That's why I was kind of hesitant about this, but I've kind of got the hang of it. You can get it up pretty fast. It'll just take a little practice, but yeah, I plan on swapping this out for my Boker just to see how it holds up for $10. They claim it has D2 steel. I'd really like to put this to the test and see. It says made in China right there. So is the Chinese steel just as good as the Harbor Freight steel or the Boker steel, which I don't know where they get theirs from, but probably not China. But yeah, I'll definitely post an update on this knife. Like I said, I'm really going to abuse it. With this one, I've cut electrical wire, bail nets, anything you can imagine. It cuts through the copper electrical wire just fine. It might dull it out a little bit, but nothing you can't sharpen back out. But yeah, for 10 bucks, we'll see what happens. Okay, so moving on to my multi-tool. By the way, this is a leather sheath I carry. It's just a cheap one from eBay. It was probably like 20 bucks, if that. It works pretty good, but it kind of bunches up. As you can see, when I put it in on my belt, it kind of protrudes out like that, which, I mean, no big deal, I guess, but it still does its job. I don't want to spend 100 bucks for one. I don't know, I'm just cheap like that, I guess. So I've been carrying this for about a year, and I love it. I've used it a lot, almost every day. It's the Leatherman Charge Plus TTI. So I have upgraded the pliers with the Leatherman rebar pliers. That's the only mod I've done so far. The original pliers, I bent them, like trying to grab something and doing a twisting motion. Just bent them just a little bit. So I heard the rebar pliers are a little bit stronger, so I purchased a rebar from eBay. I might swap some of the other tools yet, I'm not sure yet. But so far, that's a really good upgrade to have the rebar pliers. They feel way stronger. They're quite a bit thicker. Whenever I grab something with it, it just feels like it has a firmer grip. And then it has the S30V steel blade, which is held in edge really good. I don't use it a whole lot because I also carry a knife with me all the time. So I'm using my pocket knife. I use the file some, not a whole lot. Serrated edge and the gut hook blade. I use the saw some. Cut through plastic and wood. The flathead screwdriver I use quite a bit. I've abused it a little bit. It seems to hold up pretty good, but you can definitely feel some twist on there when you're really cranking on it. It also has this little bitty, like a eyeglass repair screwdriver with a flat and a Phillips. Then I have the scissors. I don't really like to use the scissors because I almost cut myself every time I open them. I want to push there on that tab. And when I push on that tab, it pushes my finger across the blade. I always forget it's there for some reason. But I mean, I just don't have a use for these scissors. I'll probably swap them out for the awl from the rebar. And on this side, I've got a can opener and a bit driver. And then I carry this with me with extra bits inside the little leather holster. Just fits snugly behind it. And then here's the rebar that I took the plier head from. Like I said, I just bought it on eBay. The listing said that the guy had just sent it into Leatherman to get it repaired, which it looks brand new. The outside, the frame had some scratches on it. But other than that, like the plier head, it looked brand new. Here's the broken plier head that came out of the Charge Plus TTI. Like I said, I had bent it, trying to twist with it. And when I put it back on the rebar, I tried to straighten it out and it just broke. So I'll probably try to get that replaced at some point. I might gift it to a family member or friend or something, I don't know. But I don't know, for me this is just too simple. I'm not a huge fan of the rebar. It's just meh. It does have a lot of useful tools. You know, I've never carried this, but I have it, so I might as well show it. So my wife bought this Leatherman Free P4 at the same time I bought the Charge Plus TTI. She doesn't use it nearly as much as I do, or as I use mine. but I really like this. The pliers are heavy duty. They're thick. I'm not worried about breaking those off. And just the feel of it all, how everything snaps, is satisfying. All the tools are only accessible when it's closed, which I guess that's a good thing. So you can get into all the tools without even opening the pliers. Got your knife, Phillips flathead, and a larger set of scissors. See, these are quite a bit more useful than the ones on the Charge. They're about twice as long, it seems like. Saw, serrated edge. I do like that little chisel tip. I could see that being useful if you're working on a car, scratching up or cleaning up a gasket surface or something. That could be very useful. The awl, like I said, I'd like to take that from the rebar and put it on my Charge. Sometimes if you drill a hole in something like plastic or even sheet metal, you just need it a little bit bigger. That's pretty handy for that. I'd really like to upgrade to the Arc soon because it's very similar to the Free and do some mods on it, but right now I'm pretty happy with the Charge. That's it for the multi-tools. Go back to my little holster here. I've carried a few different flashlights. This is my all-time favorite, the Arcfeld Pro. It's from Olight. To charge it, it's got a little magnetic charger that clips on the back, which is super easy. It has a UV, I think it's over 1,000 lumen flashlight, and it has different settings. You can cycle through them. And this super bright green laser. The battery seems to last a long time. I probably have to charge it less than once a month. With other flashlights, I've always had problems with them turning on in my pocket, or if I put them in my book bag, they'll turn on and run the battery down. I never have that problem with this. It's got that button that's kind of recessed in there, so it never turns on its own. You know, sometimes it'll switch from flashlight to UV or whatever, but at least it's not running the battery down. And it fits very nicely in this holster. Sometimes in here, it's got this little center pouch. I'll carry a Milwaukee Inkzall or this tiny Bic lighter. The Bic lighter's handy for doing electrical repairs, soldering wires, sealing heat shrink, stuff like that. It just depends, you know, where I'm at or what I'm doing, what I have in there. So here's the wallet I carry. It's from Dango Products. So it does an array of different things. It has a pen, and you can refill the ink cartridge. When I got it, it came with several different ink cartridges. I carry a small ruler in here. In case I need to measure anything. It's a bottle opener, full of cash, notebook, card storage, more cash, more cards, driver's license, stuff like that. I find that it keeps my cards in really nice shape. With other wallets, my cards break because of bending so much, or they get really dirty. I'm really active. I'm outdoors. Dirt gets in my pocket and just kind of wears out the cards. But so far, this wallet seems to keep them in really good shape. And I've been carrying this probably year and a half. And it's held up really well. So we'll move on to my book bag. So I mentioned I work at a farm and ranch. So I carry a lot of things with me that the normal person probably wouldn't. This goes with me everywhere if I'm on the tractor or whatever I'm doing. So the bag itself is from Red Rock Outdoor Gear. It's got Molly on the front. You can put patches on there. It's Velcro on top. Here we go. So we've got a first aid kit. Just some cheap freebie item. Some sort of conference. I have no idea where I got that from, honestly. More first aid kit stuff, band-aids, antibiotic cream. Benadryl, I carry this in case I get bit by a rattlesnake. It's supposed to stop the inflammation and maybe I won't lose a limb. This is also a rattlesnake bite kit. I don't know exactly how it works. It's got iodine in there, and then instructions. And then I do know that somehow you put this over the wound and it can like suck out the venom. That's what it's supposed to do. See how it kind of suctioned onto my arm. Another thing from Harbor Freight is the Icon bit kit. It's very useful. It's got tampered Torx, regular Torx, flathead, Allen, Phillips. It's got a quarter drive adapter. The ratchet is really high quality. It's got this little extension that goes on there. It's made so it can lock. Or if you want it to be shorter, there's a thing to line it up. It can only go in one way. And it can be a little bit shorter. Locking flex head. And also the end of it, you can put a bit in there. Get extra reach. But it came in really useful. I've cranked on it a few times and it seems to hold up pretty good. Haven't been worried about breaking it with using any of these bits, at least. I haven't been able to put enough torque on it to break it. Here's the Milwaukee ink saw. Headlamp. This is from Petzl. It's rechargeable. It's pretty bright. This is dead right now, apparently. That doesn't do me any good. The case for my Leatherman. Duct tape. That's an essential. Just a 1-inch roll, 30 foot long. Haven't had to use it yet, but it's good to have in an emergency. Another bit driver, just random thing I threw in there. Gotta have snacks. Eye drops, I'm out in a lot of dirt and dust. Have a ferro rod. This was just like a cheapie from Walmart, I believe, or it might have came with something I bought, I'm not really sure. Just a little pry bar and a wrench, supposedly. I can't see that being good for too much. Tick remover. This comes in very handy. When I go camping, you just put it over the tick's head and pull it off. And then this was given to me by a good friend. It's a little can opener. I keep it taped up because it's pretty sharp. It can cut you. As well as this ferro rod. I got it from him as well. Here's the old flashlight I used to carry. It's a Nebo. It's pretty bright. I believe it's 1,000 lumens as well. You can adjust the beam. And it's rechargeable. Just a USB micro. And you can also put AA's in there. or sorry, AAAs, but this is the rechargeable battery that it comes with. And it would always turn on. I would carry it in my pocket. My hip would bump against the button and turn it on, and it would be dead. Here's the OBD-Link MX scanner. This is a pretty good little ELM 327 scanner. It's not one of those cheap Chinese ones. It might be Chinese, but it works really well. I've used it with Beamer Tune, I believe. I'm not sure. And there's some Mopar ones that it works good with as well. Carista. But that's good to have. Lens cleaner for my glasses. Another bit driver. I have no idea where I got this. Loggerhead Tools. Has these little stubby bits in there. They're all double-ended. Even has a square drive. Sometimes I come across those, unfortunately. Has an extension. So here I have this little wind bag. I haven't ever used it, but I could see it coming in handy if you need help lifting up something. You can get under an appliance or a door. If you lock yourself out of your car, you can wedge that in there. Use a clothes hanger to get back in. I just saw this at the store and thought it would be handy to have. It doesn't take up a lot of space. Flares or campfire starter. That's definitely a necessity for an emergency. Sunblock, I don't really need that, but sometimes. I don't know. Snacks, you gotta have snacks. So here's a snap-on flashlight. I don't know if you can see the number on there, but it's super bright. I like to take it camping with me. The battery obviously lasts a lot longer than my O-light in situations where I have to have it on for a long time, or if I'm working on my car, that thing will last for hours. Extra magazine, extra marker. So here's something I just recently got. Vortex binoculars. They are super clear. They're the Crossfire 10x42. It's handy to have on the farm if I see a coyote or who knows what. It came with this neat little bag. It goes on your chest and kind of straps around your back. Good for hunting, which I do a lot of. Got more snacks. Emergency rain poncho. Yeah, because it rains a lot here. Some gloves. Pretty light duty gloves. I don't even know what kind they are. Walmart, if I had to guess. Nothing special. Just kind of textured. Good for hunting, good for shooting. Allergy medication. And these are some better gloves from Harbor Freight in case I need to work on something in an emergency. I don't want to get my hands dirty. Grab something hot, who knows, I just like to keep those in there. And then trusty PSA dagger, the Holosun red dot. Threaded barrel. I got this magwell from eBay. It really cleans up the gun. Looks nice. See, I have the Holosun, the solar panel on there, and it's always on. Never had to replace the battery. I love this dagger. It shoots really nice. If you don't know, it's basically the same as a Gen 3 Glock. Most of the internals are the same. It has like a Smith & Wesson M&P trigger, which I plan to upgrade that soon. That's part of my everyday carry. Spear hollow point is the only thing I carry for self-defense. And then sometimes I like to carry this with me for, you know, when coyotes get far away. You can't get them with the Glock. It's Kel-tech Sub 2000. It takes the same mag. Or I like to use this one with it. It's the 19X mag Coyote. But this is super nice. It fits right in my book bag. It folds up. 9mm. And just today I picked up this weapon light. It's a Surefire, I believe M300. It was on discount. It was 90 bucks. It was originally 180. So I couldn't pass that up. And it's got the pressure plate right there, the pressure pad. But yeah, this is a nice little gun. It's very lightweight. It shoots just really nice. Yeah, that's pretty much it for my everyday carry. Here, I have these sitting there as well. The Walker razors. The Hawaiian print. Yeah, let me know what you think. Is that overkill? I don't think so.